Welcome to A Career That Matters, a podcast brought to you by DC Hopefuls, and I'm your host, Tommy Peavyhouse. Look, I started DC Hopefuls, and I started doing this podcast for a simple reason. I believe that you are meant to have a career of impact. Now, I don't know what that impact is. It could be in a number of areas. It could be Washington, D.C., it could be abroad, it could be in your local community. You could be in public policy, advocacy, a million different things you could do to have that impact that you were born to make. But you're probably tuning into DC Hopefuls because it's not going the way you wanted. You're stuck writing cover letters, going to awkward networking events, you're just feeling stuck professionally and you don't know how to get unstuck. That was my life for several years, and I swore to myself that if I ever figured out the right way, if I ever learned how it all really works, I would shout it from the mountaintops and share it with everyone. And that's why in 2016, I launched DC Hopefuls to help you avoid all the silly, needless mistakes that I made. So hopefully today's episode can help you through whatever situation you're facing, and it can get you going in the right direction to have that impact that the world needs you to have when you go to work every day. Hey, Tommy Peavyhouse here with DC Hopefuls, and I want to do this today. I want to talk about this thing I made up. It's called laughing degree syndrome. And I want to see if you suffer from this and how we can diagnose and treat you for it. I'm being a little silly, of course. So, laughing degree syndrome is when you meet someone and you're getting to know them, whatever, and you ask what they studied in school. And they laugh. Here's what I mean. Oh, John, yeah, blah, 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 cool. Hey, what made you want to get into insurance? Oh, and they tell you a little story. And you're like, what did you study in school? I'm curious. I don't know what people in insurance usually go to school for. Oh, well, actually, I did environmental policy. Yeah, I was going to save the planet and, do all those things. But, yeah, no. They have to kind of laugh away their degree. Now, look, there are plenty of people who studied the wrong thing in college and they found their passion afterwards. They're happy about it. But I'm talking more of that example. Those folks who kind of laugh their degree away because what they're really telling you is they settled. They didn't know how to get into that field they wanted to be in. Their passion, that thing they loved, just became that, a passion. It didn't become a career. And it's very sad. Now, for the longest time, 4 or 5 years, I would have done the same thing. Oh, yeah, actually, I just got a master's degree in international conflict resolution, but I'm really enjoying doing these mindless spreadsheets for this consulting firm. Yeah, that was me for 2012, 2013. Now I don't laugh. If you ask me what I did, if you were to ask me my degree, which isn't that big of a deal, but I would tell you because it lines up with what I'm doing now. Again, people study the wrong things in college. My point is like that thing that was on my heart, that thing I wanted to build my life around, I get to go do every day. And it lights me up. I love going. Not every day. I don't love meetings. I don't always love all my coworkers, but for the most part, I find what I do fascinating and impactful. Just brings me happiness. That's what I want for all of you. So you're thinking to yourself, I'm there. I laugh about my degree. Or maybe you followed your degree, but you kind of laugh about it because you're not having an impact. You're not happy with how your career is going, and it's making your life not as happy and joyful and meaningful as you want. The solution is always the solution, I get. You got to build a deeply invested professional network. The solution to all of this is learning how to network in a way that's going to get you the results. Because if you're trying to break into a field and all you have is a degree, and you have a bunch of years of experience that don't really match that degree and don't match that field, I know you can do it. You know you can do it, but someone in HR is never going to figure that out. I don't care how much you pour your heart into a cover letter, they're not going to read it. Or they're not going to care because they're going to find someone who has that direct, exact experience. The only way we're going to make it happen is someone who knows you is going to say, no, give them a chance. Look, hear me out. They studied this stuff because they're passionate about it. Or I know they don't have a degree of this stuff, but they realized how much they loved it after the fact. Look, I know they're not who we want on paper, but they're kind, they're smart, they're resourceful, they're going to be a great team player, they're eager to learn. Literally this last week at work, I said to someone, No, just go bring me someone who's eager and has a good attitude. I'll teach them that. Like that was my criteria. Like I don't care about really almost anything else sometimes. You need real humans to say that to actual real humans who are not amateurs. And that sounds impossible. You're thinking, Tommy, I don't know anyone in my field. How do I even begin to do that? I go to networking events and nothing comes of it. Yeah, networking events suck. I message people on LinkedIn who work in that field. They never write back. Yeah, of course they're not writing back. You're a stranger to them. That'd be weird to respond to you. I wouldn't. Right? The key to networking, the key to your career, the key to never suffering from laughing degree syndrome is starting with those you already know. Building out your network through them in a way that gets them really excited to help you, even if they don't know how they can help you. They just want you to succeed. Slowly, they will introduce you to other people, and you can build on that. You think about all the people you know 15 people really well. We all know more than that, but I'm talking like 10 to 15 you know really, really care about your mom, dad, cousins, friends, whatever. If they each had 10, right? There's 10 people in their lives that they would happily introduce you to for any number of reasons. You see how that multiplies and you realize you actually have thousands of people at your fingertips. So maybe no one you know has anything to do with the field you want to be in. And maybe no one they know. But I bet someone they know, right? You see how you can work your way. And I can tell you a million success stories of people making that happen. They talk to an aunt. The aunt says, I know someone who's retired military. They talk to him and he says, I never worked in the type of field you want to be in, but someone I served with did. Let me introduce you to him. Boom. Now they have this amazing person they're talking to. There's investment there because they know the same person. He opens them up to his entire network and amazing things happen. That's a real story from one of our members in my career investors group. So if you want to learn how to build a career full of investment from other people, I really encourage you to check the link below. It's a link about my career investors resource, my career investors group. The small coaching group I run where I have over 20 recorded lessons that teach you my entire approach. And then there's like 8 additional lessons about once you get the job and then a whole bunch of bonus videos. We do Zoom calls. You can book private one-on-one coaching calls with me. Resume reviews, a resume bank. It's an amazing, incredible resource. I used to do one-on-one coaching for like $550 for 2 sessions a month. I now offer all of this stuff, which is way better than that, at a 95% discount. So for $40 a month, you can be a part of Career Investors. I want you to click the link below and check it out. You can learn how to build your own invested network, use me as a resource for coaching calls, get to know people in the group, and go make a career of your dreams. We've had probably over 150, 200 people at this point go do that through this group. It's absolutely incredible if you were willing to put the time and energy in. So again, you don't have to laugh about your dreams. I don't want your dreams to be funny, something that you brush off. I want people to be like, whoa, you wanted it and you went out and made it happen. And I want you to be like, yeah, it wasn't a straight path. It was hard. I had to learn a lot, but ultimately, yeah, I made it happen. I believe I put something together that can show you how to do it. Not because I'm a genius, because in reality, the stuff I'm teaching you is very straightforward. It's old school. It's what people used to do. I'm going to teach you how to do this in a world that does not require LinkedIn. It doesn't require networking events. It doesn't require any job board. I mean, we could do it without email, but we're also used to email that, yes, we will use email to reach out to people. We'll use cell phones to talk to them, but that's all the technology. The career centers have taken us so off track with all this garbage that we have forgotten really works. So hopefully you will embrace this and click the link below. Hopefully you will understand what laughing degree syndrome is now and at least contemplate how do you start shifting your focus into a way that you cannot laugh about this in the future. Have a good one. Hopefully this was a little bit helpful or interesting or at least thought-provoking for some of you. And I hope I'll be jumping on the call with a couple of you because you joined Career Investors. So hope everyone's having a great day. Stay tuned for my next session.